Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's project, the white Scrambler. We just recently had it out on a four-wheel drive trip. You may have seen the video. And has a lock right in the front and an Eaton E-locker in the back. I love the Eaton E-locker, but it's in the wrong place. It needs to be in the front where I can toggle from an open differential to a locked at my will. And that lock right is just in there all the time in a steering situation. It sucked fighting it. So I'm gonna do some swapping here. Bought a Grizzly locker from Yukon, not sponsored, for the back. So that's gonna go in the rear in place of the Eaton, and then I'm gonna put the Eaton in the front to replace the lock right. So got some gears to do here and some setups. So I'll bring you along for the tips and tricks here. So stay tuned. We're gonna do it here in the garage. Kyle is currently draining it.
Got a broken off bolt in your housing.
In the housing, really?
Yep.
Awesome. Got a broken bolt to try to extract, he says. So that's always fun. Gear lube looks good though. Hasn't had any water in it. And I know the E-locker works because we recently tried it. So we'll get her drained. We'll tear this rear end down and...
Because that's where the bolt hole used to be, is right here.
Yeah. And then is that a heavy duty cover or is that a light one? Looks like a heavy duty. It's a thick one. Yeah, it's heavy. So we'll keep that back here because you're always backing into things. So we'll get her up in the air and get going on the teardown. Saw on the time lapse, we just undid the axle retaining bolts and pulled the axles out far enough that they clear the carrier. Wrapped a rag around the seal and the bearings so they don't sit here and drip on my floor. So we have both sides of that done. Here's this guy, and we'll move on to pulling the carrier. So, wow, was it loose or did you loosen that?
That was, yeah, finger tight.
Finger tight. So we've had a 90 weight leak right here from this breather. And I'm going to take that out, put a barbed hose fitting in there and run me a hose up to somewhere way higher than this axle tube. So I got Kyle pulling the breather. And of course, now it gets tight and you can't back it out with your fingers, right?
Yep, half inch.
Half inch wrench? I'll snag you one. Arrived. Again, not sponsored. Wish it was. She's sitting right there. So I ordered me a bearing kit off of Amazon. There's the part number. And this is from when we set up the black Scrambler. It has 44s under it front and rear. We made a setup race and a set of setup bearings. So one set of these are honed out to where they should just slide over, but I'm not getting either one of these just to slide on, so I may have to figure out which ones are which and hone them out a little more so they'll go over this locker. But we'll pull the E-locker out and get going on the setup here. I'll show you guys another ring pinion setup. Okay guys, we're about ready to pull this Eaton E-locker. First of all, I want to show you something. Note the X there and the X on the bearing cap. And then these are oriented vertical, that one there, and the one on the bearing cap, and then these are oriented horizontal. That way when you remove your bearing caps, you always know which one goes on which side and which way to orient it. So Dana's are awesome because they do that. You get in a Chevy or a Sterling Ford or whatever, don't plan on that. Mark your bearing caps before you remove them. But Dana's will always be marked. So I'm going to zip these off, and then there should be a snap ring underneath this side that I can get off and pull this carrier out, slide this collar off, and then I'll have to de-pin it from the connector up on top and drag the electrical back through this way. So that's the plan. Alright, I'm going to try to show you the snap ring. Hope you can see that on camera. He's right here. I'm going to work this around. Alright, we've about got it. Okay, we're there. Alright, well, no, we're not. It continues. Okay, we shall continue then. There we go, I think I got her now. Yeah, I just saw this move over. Okay, now I think I can drop this carrier and slide this piece off over pull the race, pull that over. So now I just need some pry bars. Alright guys, after a lot of fighting, she's out of here. I ended up just cutting the connector off because I couldn't get it to unpin where limited space and everything I had under there. So I think at this point I may just put the snap ring back on and just capture this guy, because I'm going to leave these bearings on it and just throw this back in the front when I'm ready to go. So I'll put this snap ring back on it, and we'll put some new bearings on the Grizzly here. And I'll transfer the ring gear and we'll set it up. that thing has to come down for sure. There we go. That was easy peasy. Now I got a big old hole to weld up. Hey guys, so today's project is set up bearings for my Dana 44. Show you what I'm up to. So here's my Grizzly locker, and I've got a set of case bearings here, and I'm actually machining these out so they'll just press, or not press, but so they won't have to be pressed on there, and then I can set this guy up with my shims and stuff. So let me show you what I'm up to. I have this guy and my bearings, and I'm just going around the inside of it here. I'll see if I can get you some of this. And you just do that until she's ready to go. Well, hello, welcome back. It's been a week for me. It's only been a few seconds for you guys. I've been waiting on parts, and let me show you why in case you run into this. So the Dana 44 under my Scrambler is an older axle. And older, I mean like 80s, 90s, you know, blah, blah, blah. But the new Dana 44s have larger ring gear bolts. So this older Dana 44 has 7/16 ring gear bolts. Okay, she goes right in there. 7/16. But the holes in this Grizzly locker are 3/8. That's no bueno. You tried to tighten all those down there, your ring gear would move on that 1/16 of an inch and change your backlash and cause you all kinds of problems. So here's the fix. Yukon gear, part number 33056. I got on Yukon gear, punched that number in. It said ring gear bolt shims, $8. So I ordered it up. For $8, they sent me one. It got here, and I thought, that's got to be wrong. So I got on the webpage again. I got looking and decided, yeah, right there in the fine print, it does say per each. So $80 in these shims? Come on, that's ridiculous. So I got looking on Amazon, found them for $6.49, still ridiculous, but cheaper than $8. So I ordered them, and it's cost me a week in shipping time. So anyway, just so you guys are aware of it in the future, you got an older Dana 44 with 7/16 bolts, you're gonna need these shims for any new locker, because most of them are gonna come with 3/8 holes, and you're gonna have that problem right there. Don't ever just put that 7/16 bolt in there and try to tighten it up, because that's gonna come apart. So anyway, now that I have my parts, let's get to putting this thing together. Just because you didn't see me torque those ring gear bolts didn't mean I didn't do it. Okay, so we're in the process of putting this thing back together 2 weeks later after getting my parts and life getting in the way. So I put 30 thousandths on both sides underneath my setup bearings. Threw it in there, it was close, so we added 10 to the ring gear side because it was, you know, excessive backlash. So this is my second shot at this. I want you to see this. 2 tries and I'm at 12 thousandths here. So we need to be 6 to 8. So I think we're gonna find a 5 or a 6 somewhere in there. Cut that backlash in half, which will in turn tighten up the carrier going in because it needed to be tightened up as well. And we'll do this one more time and I'll bring you in to see that. Okay, we added 7 thousandths to the ring gear side. And if I can get an accurate reading, there we go. She's at 4 thousandths right now. So we went a little bit right there. There you go. We went a little bit too tight. I know it's a used gear, but that's still a little bit tight. I want to see it 6 to 7 thousandths. So we're going to pull it back out. We added a 5 and a 2. So we're going to take the 2 out of it and do this one more time. Okay, so we just took the 2 out and I'm getting kind of erratic readings, but to me it looks like it's 5 to 6 thousandths when I get a good reading. Like there, that was 6. That was like 3. That was 6. That was 6. So we're gonna run with this. It feels good. We're gonna pattern it up. So we'll put some paint on it and see what we got. But I think as far as backlash goes, we're good. So I'll bring you in for the pattern. All right, guys, we painted this gear up. I want to show you my process to getting a good pattern out of these. So I stick this on, I run it around until that's contacting the pinion. And if I'm in the light, I'm sorry here. I'm gonna hold it right, so you hold that about right there. I got Kyle here helping me, guys, so you see if my pinions, we need to go up just a skosh more. So now I'm in the paint there. So then I rock this with the backlash in that pattern. Just work that back and forth really good. All right, moment of truth. We'll bring her back around here. Let's see what we got. Oh, there we go. If we roll that up, get the light on it just right. Sorry guys, knocked the camera over. You see that centered pattern? She's right there. There. So she's dead center. I don't know, she's a little towards the outside, but not much. But it's a dead centered pattern, so she's a runner. We're good. Our backlash is there, so I'm gonna pull her out, squeeze some bearings on it, and put her back up for the last time. guys, I didn't film all the boring stuff, but there she is back on the ground, has oil in it. I actually took it around the block. It drives pretty well. Pretty well-mannered locker there. You barely know it's there until you get on the gas, and you know, then you get the expected lurch and bark and click, click, bang, like the Detroits used to do back in the day. So, but there it is. There's the locker install for the rear. And now I'm gonna tear that front down and put that E-locker in the front. So stay tuned for that in an upcoming video. Thanks for watching.